this is one of the best teams that you will have played on in your career. What's your thoughts going into this season? And, what are your thoughts to what you can do individually for, that fits into the team holistically?
I want to just keep building. I think they've been right there every year. Around playoff time, that's where the struggles happens. But I want to keep building. Even when they go into the bench, like when I come in, I want to keep that defensive presence up. So that's one of the main things I want to really do.
Looks like you kind of hung out with some of the guys since you've signed. How is those relationships formed, and how will that help you going into training camp?
Oh, it's good. I'm hanging out with guys. A lot of these guys are around my age too. In Sacramento, I think I was the oldest guy on the team. So a lot of these guys has been in the league eight or more years like me. So the relationship is definitely easy to talk. Easy.
When you got a guy like Udoka on the team, and he's just coming into his NBA career, do you feel like, having been in the NBA for a while, do you feel like there's a responsibility to help a young center on a team? Yeah,
I tell them stuff. I tell them like one thing. I was like, yo, stop bringing the ball down every time. I know you want to dunk every time, but these guys is not the same like them guys in college. You bring the ball down in front of a Chris Paul or guys like that, they all over it. So if you can keep it up, you can still dunk it, but don't give up the ball for a dunk. So if you dunk the ball, work on that, keeping it up and dunking it still. So just different things like that.
Watching the team from afar, what were kind of your impressions? You referenced the fact that they get to the postseason and that's when the trouble usually kind of starts for them. What were kind of your impressions, and what did you feel like you could bring that would help them maybe get better at those?
I think I could bring just that same thing, that defensive presence off the bench and the offensive presence off the bench, coming in. And I don't want it to be such a big drop-off, as it was in the past, and I think the way they play it's always four shooters out there with you. So there's no secret how the Jazz play. They move the ball, they play team basketball, they got one guy rolling, and when it's time to get a bucket, we give it to 45 Mitchell. So for either to make a play for ice or pick and roll.
You played against him for so many years, but now that you're on the same team as Rudy Gobert, can you learn from him and can he learn from you?
Yeah, for sure. I think we can both pick each other's brain of just different things. He's very, very well adjusted into this organization. He came to a great organization in the Jazz. Ever since I've been here, I'm like, this is, if not one of the best organizations I've been a part of. I've been here for 3 weeks. So just the way they push forward to us, the players, anything you need, they pretty much there.
What has Quin Snyder been like over the last few weeks, and kind of what are your conversations?
He's nothing like I thought he was. I thought he was going to be like a super strict, angry guy. When he gave me a phone call, he was like, you don't got to call me coach, you can call me Q. And I'm like, oh, who is this guy? This guy like a smooth talking. I like this guy. I might go here. I like this guy. So he's like a smooth talking guy, and it's different. It's crazy what you think of somebody. I'm a victim of that. What you think of somebody when you actually meet them is way different. And I always thought he was kind of like way more like different.
Cause he's got like the scary eyes.
Yeah, because on the bench he looks like so stressed out and angry all the time. I'm like, man, y'all up 30. What are you talking about it? Like, rubbing his head, shaking his head. I'm like, but he's just a cool dude.
Any other surprises in terms of guys being different than what you perceived from afar?
Yeah, I didn't know Mitchell. He's different than I thought. He's Donovan's a little different than I thought he was. Who else? Ingles. Man, I told Ingles I hated him. So I love playing on his team, but in the game he's the biggest trash talker I ever met. So, but I'm glad I'm on his side because he loved passing it to the big man.
How's Donovan different than what you thought?
I thought he was a little more. I thought he was a little more reserved, a little more. I didn't know he was kind of like so like joking, like big personality. I thought he was a little more standoffish, kind of like feel people out. But he jokes and it feels like I've known him for a lot longer than I did.
Do you remember any particular instances of Joe trash talking you or your team?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, all through especially in Miami, he was just trash talking me every time. So
what did he say?
What did he say?
He was like, go get that one. You ain't gonna go get this one. Or like he throwing it, he faking it. He'll fake it to go bare and go lay it up. Like you can't go block that. Like a lot more cuss words in it.
You know that's like his favorite move, right? Come down.
Yeah, I told him I realized that after that game, I for sure did a lot of research on him. But he already got a couple guys, the young fellas, with it. I've been on the receiving end of a lot of his passes already.
Comfortable having Dwyane Wade here too? Let me just say, what's your relationship like with Dwyane?
Oh man, I love Dwyane, man. I think it's gonna be it's a little different because I was actually playing with him. I wish I could have played more years and more years with Dwyane when he was more at a higher level. I tell people all the time that was like one of my favorite teammates all the time playing with him. He made the game so much easier, and I think people don't. I think at the time, you didn't appreciate it as much until after he left. So a lot of people think it was like a big drop off from the Heat from 2016 to 17, and I'm like, we lost D-Wade. I mean, like, what you expect?
How important? Some guys seem to, play well or fit in regardless on the floor, regardless of how they fit off the floor. How big is fit off the floor and kind of getting along with the guys? You mentioned being older than everyone in Sacramento. How important is that for you and how you think you can play?
I think it's real big. I think it's just the knowledge that you guys can share. I think it's a different appreciation when you've been in the league 8, 10, 12, 13 years like they got here. Because you've seen different aspects of this organization. And I mean, it's just a different appreciation. It's like, you're going to just have a different value of what you win.
One of the things we've seen is how important pick and roll chemistry is, just like getting that with Joe or Donovan or Jordan or whoever. How is that coming along in kind of the OTAs, and how do you see that developing throughout the season?
I think when you got the amount of shooting this team has, and I've never been on a team with this many shooters, in my career. In Portland we had 2 really big time shooters, and Dame and CJ, and Gary Trent was coming into his own, and even Rodney Hood was a good 3-point shooter, but it's like a plethora of shooters. It's like Mike Conley, Donovan, Ingles, Bogey, Jordan. It's like it just keep going on and on and on and on of just how many guys that can shoot here. It's like unbelievable. It's like it's so harder. The pick and roll I think is so underestimated when you got somebody that can shoot, because you can't go under. Even if I set a bad pick, you can't go under. And when I roll, if they're coming back for the snake, the guy's on my back. So it's a 2-on-1 situation every time, rather than you running the pick and roll with a guy that can't shoot, where you can go under, then I got to re-screen, then keep going under, and then it's like nobody gets open.
Yeah.
So and I told him it was situations in Portland where Dame would say, "Come set it for me at half court." It's like it's tough. It's tough when you got guys that can knock down shots like you got here.
What's your evolution been? I mean, when you came into the league, you played a lot more with your back to the basket. Now it's a lot more facing the basket, screening rolls, pick and pops, things like that. How's that the changing of the league around you? How has that made you change your game and to where you are right now?
I think like Coach Snyder, he told me I want to get the ball as much as I did in the pass and the post. He was just saying it's not a knock on you. It's just our style of play. That's just the way they play. Is 4 out, 1 in, and normally the roller, somebody got to stop the roll. Normally takes it off the corner. So I just think I just approach the game different. I try to be the best I can be at that role, you know, rather than it's sitting in they call it the space, the reader spot, which is the corner of the basket, which is not the coolest spot to be, you know, but it's a sacrifice for the teammate, for my team, you know, and when a guy drives, it's making a big man commit to you, and a lot of times you're gonna get easy dunks or layups, and it works, you know. You guys is 55 plus wins pretty much the last couple of years, so you're doing something right.
On the flip side, on the defensive side, I mean, everything's geared, especially with Rudy on the floor, to just push everyone towards him.
Yeah.
I know you're going to get that in the second unit.
Yeah.
Is that good, or does that put a lot more pressure on you?
Nah, I've been wanting this. I've been wanting it for sure. You know, I've been wanting that. I've been wanting to be in this system for a while. So I've been wanting to see that. You know, and I seen it when they come off pick and rolls. They like, if they shoot a pull up too, they tell me that's fine. That's fine, even if it's not contested. I'm like, okay, because they want me to be at the rim, and I'm like, hey, if that's the defense, you guys are always number 1, number 2, number 3 in defense. If whatever they saying is working, you know, and I just want to keep picking the coach's brain on that, and it's not just one guy, you know, it's a team of defenders, you know, and you got to have a team that want to be great defenders. You know, you got underrated defenders in Royce, even Ingles, like guys like that. Them guys they got size, length, and they're all underrated defenders in my mind.
How hard do you think it'll be to kind of adjust to that sort of defensive system where you're not going out to contest that shot? When Mike Conley came to the Jazz, he said it took him a while. He was over-helping a lot because he wasn't used to having kind of like a rim-blocking guy stay back like that.
I think it's not gonna take too long because I can just watch what Gobert do, you know, and I can see what he does. He's protecting the rim, and the way he guarded, I can pretty much piggyback off that.
What's your interaction level been like with Rudy? You know, we're not that far removed from you guys having some great rivalry games, and there being debate, you know, as to like who is the better center, and now you guys are together on the same team. How have you like been able to kind of talk to him and adjust him and pick his brain about your role on the team?
We haven't had a whole lot of conversation about that. You know, we talked a little bit. I think I just seen him. I've been here for like 3 weeks. I just seen him yesterday. So he was one of the first guys to reach out and text me, though. It was like D-Wade and a bunch of the staff, and he was the first player to text me like, "Yo, man, welcome to the team. I'm glad to have you." He was like the first player to like text me. I don't have anything. I'm just here to win. I know what I'm coming into. I know I'm gonna be the guy to come in and back him up. I know what I came into.
Are you still going with Agent Block or Kel Blockula?
Oh, Lego.
What is it?
Lego.
Lego.
Yeah. I can say that. I like that one.
Build a block.
This coaching staff has kind of been regarded as a group that can develop guys or get the most out of guys. What at this stage of your career do you feel like they can most help you with?
Most help me with? Most help me with? I think coming in there, getting back to the postseason. You know, I played in the postseason with Portland, but it wasn't the same. You know, it was a bubble. You know, getting back to the postseason and having a real chance of winning a championship. You know, I think we got a real chance. You know, a lot of teams come in, hey, we got a chance to win a championship, and they know they don't have a chance to win a championship, but they got a real chance to win a championship, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here.
I heard from some of the other guys today talking about the same thing and saying that window is so short in the NBA and that it only comes along, you know, so few times in one career. Do you feel like sort of a draw like that? You said that's one of the main reasons that you came here, but like, do you feel like I need to get closer to that? Yeah,
for sure. You know, I think the depth of this team, even I think underrated signings like Rudy Gay, like things like that, and I think the depth of this team is what's going to be one of its biggest strengths. And I was talking to, I think, one of the other reporters. You got 2 6 man of the year, like in Ingles and Jordan Clarkson, and how many teams can say they got 2 6 man of the years? And I think just that depth on the team is going to be a real big thing that goes down, because injuries going to happen as part of the game. And I think that, as y'all seen in the past with other teams, that really hurt them down the line. But when you got guys that can just come in and fill in and it's not a drop off, I think that's one of them teams that's holding up the trophies.